What is going on, my beautiful LARPers and LARPettes? Today, we're gonna go over the brand new Strike Industries SMC Bravo, or the Strike Modular Chassis Bravo. And I'm gonna be directly comparing it to the previous offering, the Strike Industries SMC Alpha. Basically gonna go over the differences between these two here. It should be pretty straightforward. But before I get into all that, what is my relationship with Strike Industries? Strike Industries and I have a pretty long history. I've been basically testing products, showing them off to you guys for, I don't know, maybe 8 years now. So we've been friends for a very long time, and they do send me products out for free, but they do not pay me for any of these reviews. They did send me that Alpha there, and then they sent me this Bravo here. And just so you know, this is one of the very first production Bravos right here that you're seeing in front of me. So this is 001, basically the first one that was ever out. So pretty special to me to have this one here. Also, I want to apologize for the lack of firearms behind me. For those of you that did find me through like all of my SHOT Show covers that I just did, just so you know, this isn't the typical background for me. I usually have a bunch of guns right behind me here. So if you would like to see a vault room tour when I'm done with it, and I'm hoping to be done with it by the end of this month, if you'd like to see that, drop a comment down below so I can give you a whole tour of my room here. Now let's get right into the differences between the Alpha and the Bravo here. I'm gonna throw up some B-roll in between this to show you how they look without all these accessories on there. I'm just too lazy to pull them off for you guys, and I don't think I could even pull them off in front of the camera just because YouTube thinks that's gunsmithing. So the Bravo, right off the bat that you're going to see is the chassis system itself is plastic. It's polymer, and on the Alpha it is all aluminum and metal. Well, not all aluminum, so the plastic grips and the plastic Magwell, but basically the rest of the chassis itself is aluminum. And if I didn't already mention, the chassis is the Bravo that we're talking about here. So basically the grip portion where you can drop your SIG P320 FCU into is the Bravo for the plastic, and the Alpha is aluminum. So aside from this one being plastic and that one being aluminum, I'm gonna start from the rear here to show you how it differentiates between the two in terms of the design. So right here, you're getting a 1913 rail as well as this one back here, and you're also getting two QD attachments on the right and the left side of that rear Tang 1913 portion there. And I did go ahead and put these dual folding braces on these SMCs here. I think these are really cool to have on them. You can also just pop it off whenever you want to. So 1913 rails right there on the back, but the major difference that you're going to see here is the lack of optics mounting options. So right here on this one, you can tell there's nothing on there, and there's not even an option to put something on there. On the Alpha, you have the option of taking this off, and it's basically gonna look similar to the Bravo here, or you can put that on, and this has basically a ton of options for basically every optic that you have out there. Unfortunately, on the Bravo, doesn't have one, but I do much prefer to have something like this on it rather than being dependent on the slide itself to have the optic on it. But with that said, you do still have that option if you put a SIG P320 slide that has an optic cut on there. So once you slap an optic on there, you're pretty much gonna be similar to this. I just like to have an optic that's not reciprocating with the slide while I'm shooting something that's kind of a PCC PDW. I don't really know what to call this, but yeah. Now moving forward to the grip. The grip is very ergonomic on the Bravo here. Not saying that the Alpha is not ergonomic, it's just a little bit too squared out for my taste. I mean, when I'm shooting it, I hardly notice it, but when I'm actually paying attention to all the curvature on it, it's kind of just some sharp angles on there. So the Bravo's nice and rounded out. I do want to say though that the ridges on the Bravo aren't as pronounced as the ridges on the Alpha here. I do like those ridges more in terms of the aggression that I'm getting out of the grip, but on the Bravo, yeah, it does need some, I think it needs a little bit of work when it comes to, come on, sit on there. A little bit of work when it comes to the stippling or the texturing on the grip. It's a little too smooth for my taste. You do get the same option of putting your stock, basically you can put all of your stock SIG P320 parts onto this Bravo chassis, and you do have that option of having an ambidextrous mag release on this guy as well. Moving on down to the Magwell, it is flared out right at the bottom. The difference that you're going to see here between the Alpha is not flared out at the bottom from the factory, but you can get a factory Magwell to screw onto here. I like this a little bit more because I do have the option of switching it out if I needed to, but it is a really nice option that they are giving you, a flared out Magwell from the factory. Me, I kind of beat my guns up a little bit. Haven't had that issue with this one yet, but when it comes to a polymer gun that I'm just using a dedicated Magwell or something without a Magwell, and I do a ton of reloads, I'm kind of just scraping away at that plastic and it kind of gets destroyed. And when you do get to that point, you basically got to swap out the whole grip, right? The whole chassis itself. So I do like the option of maybe putting on another additional Magwell onto that guy, but it doesn't have that option. So maybe that can be an update for the future. You do get a double undercut here on the trigger guard on the Bravo. On the Alpha does not have a double undercut. It's kind of just straight and then a little bit beveled out here for your middle finger while you're grabbing it. So again, ergonomics, I give it to the Bravo in terms of that. Now moving forward onto the 1913 dust covered rail here up front. This is going to be a major difference. I mean, the major difference is going to be the material, right? Aluminum, plastic, but the downside to the Bravo, for me, that is the fact that you cannot mount the Alpha compensators onto the Bravo chassis. On the Alpha, essentially, there's a hole on the bottom of the dust cover. This compensator directly mounts onto the chassis itself, so that way it can be free floating, or not free floating, it can be not connected to a threaded barrel while you're shooting this. So I think that is a very, very neat idea to have on the Alpha. I wish it kind of was the same thing on the Bravo. That was my, again, biggest downside to this, is I was like, damn, I have another compensator that came with this. I wanted to throw it on that. And you're now only really dedicated to the compensators if you were to put a shorter slide with a threaded barrel and a aftermarket compensator on there. Now, as far as other accessories go, like these rail covers here, I think these are a must if you're going to get one of these Strike SMCs, is to put these dust covers that go over the rails here. Just because while I'm shooting this, I tend to put my thumb up a little too high while I'm grabbing this magazine holder. And when I do have it up there, it prevents me from inducing a malfunction with me putting my thumb into that slide and causing drag. On this Alpha here, I do have one that is longer to compensate for that length of the compensator. And on this Bravo here, I do have one that flushes up to that. This is the X5 slides, the longest slide that you could get on the STIG 320, the X5 slide. So yeah, so it goes right at the end of that. Now, as far as the reliability and shootability on the Bravo here, it has been working completely fine. I shot around 1,000 rounds already, or maybe about, I think I probably have a lot more than 1,000 rounds, because I've taken this to some photo shoots and stuff like that before this was even released, and that's my personal round count. This one was the first one in production, basically, that was out there for testing and reviewing and stuff like that. And it's been going since then, so for all I know, it probably has a lot more rounds to do it than I actually think. But for me, this only has about maybe I would say 1,000 rounds, just to be on the safe side. It's probably more, but I would just say 1,000 rounds. But no malfunctions whatsoever. I don't see any type of cracking or anything like that. That was kind of my concern with this. So usually when I'm cranked down on this guy, I don't want to get any like bend or anything like right here, but these portions right here are super thick where I don't see anything gonna be snapping off on me anytime soon. Also, it shoots extremely smooth for me. I can get on target super fast with this thing. It's super compact as well. I don't think there's any difference between how compact they are compared to each other. It's really gonna depend on what accessories you're gonna be slapping on these SMCs. So you can see that compensator brings it out a little bit more, but extremely small packages either way. And my favorite part about it, I think, is going to be the price. The price is probably half, or yeah, it's like around 180, maybe less. I'll put a price up somewhere around here, but it is a lot cheaper than the Alpha there. So if I were to choose which one I wanted to snag, I would probably snag the Bravo, just because of the, for one, weight savings. This is a hell of a lot heavier than this one here. 2, the ergonomics. I like the ergonomics a lot more. And 3 is going to be the price. Definitely a lot cheaper than the Alpha there. Biggest downsides are going to be that compensator not being put on there and that lack of adaptation for the sight back there. But again, I can still put a red dot on there and I can put a threaded barrel with a comp. So those little things there that spoiled me on the Alpha, I could still put on here, just not in the same way. But overall, very, very cool little chassis system here from Strike Industries. What do you think about the Bravo? Is there a specific purpose that you use it for? Is it something that's kind of gimmicky you just go out to the range and have some fun with? Let me know your thoughts on it down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all. Catch you in the next one.